What's up, guys? This is CJ from CJ's Keto Kitchen. It's Wednesday, and that means it's time for another Keto Conversations. Let's get this done. So hey guys, I can't even tell you how many times I've tried to do this video. My mind is kind of racing all over the place, and so I'm trying to slow down and kind of get my thoughts together. So the first thing I'll start with is some updates. In some of our past videos, we've talked about how Sarah and I at the beginning of the year, how we were going to start doing intermittent fasting. And I want to report back that we've been doing that, and it's been great. It has actually been relatively easy once I've gotten to kind of a routine with it and kind of understood some things that I needed to have cleared up. I'll post some links to, if you want more information about intermittent fasting, I'll post some links in the description so you can see some information from Dr. Berg and maybe Jason Fung about fasting in general and intermittent fasting. As I've said this before, we are adding intermittent fasting just because we want to. We are not replacing keto with intermittent fasting. We're adding that on top of keto. So keto is our lifestyle. That is how we eat. That's how we live. And there is no, that's not even an issue anymore. I saw a comment today from one of our subscribers, and I really appreciate her. She's new to our channel. She was binge watching all of our videos, and she mentioned how she's had some success with keto. In fact, she lost, I think, about 60 pounds, but she was starting to have some thoughts about some of the old foods that she ate, and as I started thinking about that, reading those comments, that happens to me occasionally. I am more than a year into keto, and so the opportunity or those thoughts that come up about, well, boy, it'd be nice to have a donut, or it'd be nice to have that thing. It's funny because I get tempted by little silly stuff. I mean, just silly things that you wouldn't even think, like a potato chip. Sometimes I look at a potato chip and say, man, it'd be nice to have a potato chip. But those thoughts are normal to have, because if you think about it, a lot of us, you've been eating the standard American diet all your entire life. And if you're just starting keto, or, like I said, we've been doing it for a year, it's still new. It's a new thing. And so just because you have those thoughts don't mean you have to act on those thoughts. It's how you react to those things. That is the most important part of it. So there was something at work today that I saw, and I said, man, it was almond roca candy. And somebody had some of that out today, and I looked at it and I said, man, I remember those used to taste really good. And I just walked by, went back to my desk. It wasn't an issue because, again, I've lost 65 pounds. I am not going backwards for a piece of almond roca candy. So anyway, it's normal to deal with temptation. If you fail sometimes, that's okay. I don't believe in cheat days. Now, I know some people who do keto and do low carb, and there's all kinds of stuff on Facebook and on the internet about having cheat days. Bull crap. I don't believe in cheat days. If you're going to do keto, do it. If you're not going to do keto, then don't do it. But just stick with it. Be consistent. Keto will work. So let's see. So intermittent fasting has been going well. I kind of got into a groove, and I've actually been doing it every day. And this week, my goal is to kind of extend my fasting window from 16 hours to up to 18, and that's my goal this week. And maybe next week, depending on how it goes, I'll go to 20 hours. And so, we'll see. It's just an experiment, but we're enjoying it. and it's something that we're added to our keto lifestyle. You don't have to do it. Let's see what else. Weight loss. I've actually been losing weight over the last 2 to 3 weeks. The scale has been changing. I'll tell you this right now. If you're one of those people who like to see those weigh-ins and people's feet on the scale and the number, it ain't ever going to happen here. I get why we weigh ourselves. I understand it. I understand that you need to weigh yourself and it helps you feel better about weight loss. I get it. I understand it because I do it too. But I also know that my scale lies all the freaking time. I swear, last week I got on the scale, I had lost 2 pounds. I drank a half a cup of coffee. I even went to the bathroom, got back on the same scale an hour later, and I was up a pound. So go figure that. So anyway, that's just my rant about using the scale as a measure for your progress. Like I said, I get it. I use the scale as well, but you're never gonna see a weigh-in on this channel. It just ain't gonna happen. So, but what I always encourage people to do is take your measurements. That's something I know Sarah said that she really wished she would have done when she first started keto. Take your measurements because when you're trying to lose weight, it's important for you to get as many little wins as you can. And so there have been times when, especially when we were stuck in a plateau, there were times when I needed to do those measurements, and those measurements might change a half an inch, a quarter of an inch, and it was something for me to hold on to until I could keep going and keep going on keto so that I could make it to the next point where I started losing the weight again. So again, I would really encourage you, if you just started keto or if you've been doing keto for a while and you didn't do this, take your measurements. Measure around your chest, measure around your waist, measure your hips, measure at least one of your thighs. Take your measurements because those measurements will come in handy. And if you feel like your clothes are getting looser, they probably are. Your clothes don't lie. And so I guess the only way your clothes will lie is if you have a lot of clothes that have elastic in them, but I don't. So anyway, that is just kind of an update on the weight loss. The scale has been moving again, and that feels awesome. I get it. Like I said, I understand why we get on the scale. I do it every week as well, but you're never going to see it on video. That I've been struggling with is exercise. And I'm gonna address something that it was another question from a subscriber about, do you need to exercise while on keto? And there's a lot of information about this topic. There's a lot of discussion about this topic online in the keto world. When I started keto, I exercised, and then I stopped for a long time. And then I started again. But I kept losing weight even when I wasn't exercising. I am now trying to get back into the groove of exercising. I've got to lose. I want to lose. Now, I don't have to, but I want to lose another 40 pounds. And like I said, the scale's been moving. But I also want to see what happens if I incorporate some exercise, if I incorporate some weightlifting, if I incorporate some cardio. I know Dr. Berg, he talks about doing HIIT, high intensity interval training, 2 to 3 times a week. So I'm trying to work exercise back into my routine. But if for some reason you can't exercise, whether it be because you have some kind of physical limitations or whatever, I would suggest and really encourage you to at least try to move. Exercise doesn't have to be lifting weights. It doesn't have to be running. It could be a walk. It could be walking up the stairs at work versus riding the elevator. It could be parking further away from, the front door at the grocery store, so you can get some, you can have to walk further from your car to the front door. You can figure out ways to move. And so I've got a handy dandy Apple Watch that Sarah bought me, and it tells me I'll be sitting in a meeting at work, and then all of a sudden my watch will vibrate and it's telling me to stand. And so It's telling me to move. It's telling me to stand. And I stand up because I'm trying to keep a streak going. And so I encourage you that if you're doing exercise, great. If you're not doing exercise, great. But try to move, try to get your, get something in just to, it helps you feel better when you move around. And, it doesn't have to be a long, drawn out thing. It can just be what you can do. Because again, it's not about perfection, it's about progress. So if you can only walk a half a block, that's fine. If you want to try to run and you can only run a half a block, then do that and be happy that you did that. And then keep trying, and sooner, before you know it, you'll be running miles and miles and miles. At least that's what I hear, because I don't run. So anyway, let's see. So the last thing I wanted to talk about, something that's been on my mind, is excuses. And this kind of ties in with the whole exercise thing. So for the last several episodes of this Keto Conversations, I've been talking about exercise. I've been talking about doing planks. I've been talking about all these things. But if I'm really honest with you, I have been personally failing to do the exercise that I need to do. Now, I can tell you this. We have been making a lot of videos. It takes a lot of time to do the videos. It takes a lot of time to do the editing. And so I have a built-in, really legitimate reason for not exercising. But in some ways, it also feels like I'm using that to some extent as an excuse. And so I'm always harder on myself than anybody else. I don't expect perfection for myself. I've gotten over that a long time ago because I guess in some ways there is a part of me that wants to do things perfect, but then I've gotten over that years. But what I do expect from me is I expect progress, I expect movement, I expect at least trying and making a good effort to be persistent with whatever goal that I'm trying to reach. And so one of the things that I have to do tonight is, I'm looking at the clock, it's 8:10 here on the West Coast. Before 10:30, I've got to get some exercise in. I've also got, 2 to 3 videos to edit. Oh, I need to edit this video as well and post this one. And somehow in there, I've got to get at least 20 to 30 minutes of exercise in. Do I have to do it? No. But it's occurred in my head that maybe I've been making a lot of excuses lately, and I just need to figure out how to make the time to do it and to get it done. So anyway, I tell you that's really not even about exercise. The excuses conversation is really about, are there things in your life that you've been wanting to do? Are there things that in your life that you should be doing that you aren't doing because you're rationalizing why you can't do them, or you're making some kind of excuse as, well, I can't start this now, I'm not perfect, the conditions aren't right. Forget that stuff. I almost cursed. Forget all that stuff. The conditions will never be perfect. You don't have to be perfect. But what you should do, and what you should try to do, is try to make progress every day. And if you fail, forget about forget about yesterday and move forward for another day. That's how I live now. When I don't get the things done that I need to get done, I don't spend a lot of time beating myself up. I don't say, I'm going to quit because this stuff doesn't work. Because I saw a poster a long time ago. It says, I know what quitting feels like. Now I want to see how it feels to not quit. And so that's kind of how I am in my life right now. Even if I don't get everything done tonight, I'm not going to beat myself up. I'm going to do everything I can to do what I need to get done tonight. But if I don't, I'm going to brush myself off, and tomorrow I'm going to get up and I'm going to do better and strive to do better. And so again, I just encourage you to keep on keeping on your keto journey. If you have questions for us, feel free to leave a comment. We love to hear from people. I think we answer just about every comment that we get. to some extent and some form. We still aren't to this, to the phase where we're so large where we can't, answer comments because we're getting thousands and thousands and thousands of comments. So if you write us, you're gonna get a response back because we like hearing from people. We started this channel to spread the message of keto and to show people that you can live keto as a lifestyle, that you don't have to just do keto as a diet, but you can have keto, you can live keto as a lifestyle. You don't have to feel deprived on keto. You can have things that are sweet. You can have savory foods. You don't have to feel like it's a diet. You can make keto a lifestyle if that's what you choose. So anyway, thanks again for watching CJ's Keto Kitchen. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe, hit the notification bell because we drop content on a pretty regular basis. But for sure, we're going to drop something every Sunday, and every Wednesday, we're going to do Keto Conversations. Again, thanks for watching. We appreciate you being here, and we hope that you just have a great week, and peace. I'm out. Thanks.